That's just Paul's just said he's got problems with his internet, Tony. So what's going on there?
Derek's good, Hermione, and Neil.
Neil's there. That's good. Fantastic.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello, Neil.
Hi everyone. How you doing?
that's great. Hey, Derek.
How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, doing good. We're all getting ready, are we? Hermione, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
Good
that's
evening,
good.
everyone.
Good. It's good to see you there, Hermione. It's super.
Thank you. First time I've ever spoken to you, Neil.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it, Hermione?
It is.
Yeah, we've obviously messaged quite a lot, but yeah.
You know, this is the trouble. You know, for those of us that get on Hangouts and get on front videos, everybody knows us, but we don't know everybody else. Neil, you know, that's the problem.
It's a problem being famous, is it, Paul?
Well, it's terrible because you go to a meeting and everybody knows me, and of course I don't know them, and they expect me to know them, and it's really difficult.
It is very, very true, that, Paul, isn't it?
Well, it's so funny actually because you get familiar, you know, using video and audio and things like that. People know the people who do that, but you go to these meetings and you meet these people. They shake your hand, they'll give you a big hug, and you haven't got a clue who they are. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's very, very true. So we're all buzzing and excited and geared up, are we, for
Big time. Big time.
Absolutely.
So excited for Tuesday.
Well, I'm looking at the clock now, and we've literally just got over 4.5 days to go, so it's not too bad.
Right, we've got 2 viewers joining now. I can't see who they are.
Well, I've only put it out to just a select few of people because most of the people I've done one-on-ones on the phone with, so they're all up to speed.
Right, Mark, one of my guys, Mark John Waite is he's on now. Can you hear us, Mark? If you could just type yes in the box, that'd be great.
Oh, goodness me.
So, Derek, are you still in Germany, Derek?
Yeah, I'm still in Germany. Yeah, still in Germany. I'm here till the 6th of August.
Oh, right.
6th of August, yeah. Then I go to Catterick.
To where? Sorry.
Catterick.
Catterick.
Yeah.
Oh, right, where the army barracks is.
Well, that's where my brother-in-law's in the army, so
Oh, right.
they're moving over there, so I'm helping them move, taking the dogs back.
So, are you in Germany? You're not in a hotel there. Are you staying with friends or family or?
Staying with my sister and my brother-in-law.
Ah, right. Okay.
So I'm staying with them in Hona. I don't know whether you know Bergen, Hona, in Germany.
Hmm.
So I'm staying with them on camp, yeah. So it's good. It's all good.
Well, we've got Hermione on from South Africa. We've got Ola on. I just want to welcome everybody. Is everybody on the feed now?
We've got 4 on the feed.
You usually find that people are a little bit late jumping in.
Well, it's very interesting. I had a long call with Andre today, Neil.
With who? Sorry.
Andre, you know Andre in Australia.
Andreas.
Yeah, Andreas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I spent about an hour and a half with him today on the same subject what we're going to cover this evening. And I think it's critical information what we're going to share with everybody because we want everybody to succeed here, and we don't want anybody losing out. So I think it's going to be very imperative that this information gets crystal clear with everybody.
Is somebody moving house?
I think that's me. Well, we've got an old red tile floor and with chairs on it. It just makes a noise whenever you move them. You know, it's like sort of
Like quarry tiles.
yeah, you've got it quarry tiles, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're hard as iron. You don't want to hit your head on them, I'll tell you.
Listen here.
Well, what we ought to do is play some music, oughtn't we? Silence is golden, eh?
Yeah, I've actually tried it before, Paul, and it doesn't come across very well on
Oh, really?
on Hangouts. Yeah, it always sounds. I've tried it before, and it always sounds a little bit tinny.
Really? Let's just try something. Let's just try something. I'll just try. I might have got better speakers.
Hi guys, how are we doing? Sorry for the late arrival.
Hi, John.
Welcome, mate.
So how are we going? Are we all good to go, or?
Yeah, well, we've got 5 viewers at the moment. Can't actually see who they are, so I don't know if you want to start.
Right, guys. What I could suggest is if you could check with your team if they're on or not. So Derek, if you just want to message your guys, Hermione, if you just want to message your
I've
guys.
just done that. Camelia's on, Graham's on. There's about 3 of mine on, I think. So
You can see everything.
what they're telling me anyway.
H, you got any people on yet?
No, it's not.
I don't know. I'm checking.
Okay. Have you started recording yet, Tony?
Well,
Have
I've
you?
started the broadcast and it's live, so yes, it's probably recording. Yes.
Okay.
It's just on YouTube. Maybe you can see anything until you start the broadcast.
Okay. Well, look, if it's up and running, Tony, and it's recording, then shall I suggest we get cracking? Anyone that comes in late or that misses it, we can get them the recording of it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I do apologise for being late. I've just been literally just ran back in the door from my daughter's end of year school play, so I apologise. Right, what we're here for tonight is literally Paul's going to go over the exact process for us to load our matrices. So we're only, what, less than 5 days away now, isn't it? So just so that we all get a good understanding and a clear understanding of how we're going to go about loading our matrices with our 5 people, and how we can then go on and help them to get the right 5 people underneath them, and so on and so on. So without further ado, let's not mess about. Let's get Paul on. Paul, are you there?
Sure am, John. So
Okay. Let's crack on.
okay, that'd be super, because this is really, really, really important. John, I shared this information with you the other night. We were on for about an hour and a half. I had a similar call this afternoon with Andreas. Likewise, about an hour and a half there as well. And I just want everybody to really understand that this is a once, I stress this, once in a lifetime situation where this is going to happen. From Tuesday onwards, this is never going to happen again, and everybody's going to have to basically fly by the seat of their pants. And for that reason, we've got an advantage which I think is unprecedented. Now, I've been around matrix plans now for the best part of about 8 or 9 years. I fell in love with them when I met Tom Schreiter, Big Al. Now, Big Al was the gentleman that created the very first matrix ever with a company called Nutrition for Life. And he exposed me to the power of building a matrix correctly. I was never in Nutrition for Life, but I got to know Big Al because of some friends, mutual friends that knew of Big Al, and I was had the opportunity to go for lunch with Big Al, and that's where our relationship and friendship built. But the point about that is that a few years ago I had the opportunity to create our own company, and I was asked by my 2 partners to put the pay plan together. And for that reason, we built it on a matrix structure. Now, when a company sets up a company around a matrix plan, obviously they're not going to just put anybody in at the top of the company's matrix. Now, we've got a 5 by 6 matrix here, which is a wide matrix, and even the more importance for this hangout this evening, because it's so easy to make a mistake because of basically ignorance. And what you don't know, and you're going to kick yourself for not having this information. Now, I do not want this information being broadcast right through the network. This is purely for leaders. This is purely for the people that really want to build a sound 5-figure, monthly income. Now, over the duration and the growth of the business, I know I've spoken with most of the people on the hangout this evening and one-on-one. I can see a 6-figure monthly income in this business if we build it the right way and we duplicate the right process, and we keep this away from the masses from a point of view of the information that we're going to give to the leadership. Leadership is different from the membership. Leadership is all about responsibility and understanding that leaders have to do certain things that the average person will not do. Now, saying that, what I want to share with you now is that I've obviously chosen my top 5 people. I know exactly who they are, and they will be receiving the link when I receive the link from Neil. When we all go into the process. Now, we're all going to receive the link from our immediate sponsors who are going to be effectively in connection with the people that we are choosing to go in our top 5 positions. Now, just think about this. The company, they've just got their one primary position. So the company's got that one primary position at the top, and obviously they've got 5 positions to fill likewise. So I imagine the company on launch are going to have 5 key people positioned at the top of the company matrix, ready to come in. Now, what we've got to do is understand that when we get that link, we're not going to have a month of Sundays to get everybody in. So I'm setting it up with my people so that they will be contacted from me within a time frame of each other. So, for example, the first person that's getting the link will get the link first. Then about a minute afterwards, I'm going to send it to the second person, then the third, then the fourth, and then the 5th, right? Now, at that point, I've done my job. Now, we're going to have to run this out as a military campaign, and I cannot stress how important it is to have everybody positioned with a debit card and all the necessary information like chosen username, because you haven't got time to mess about with usernames. Now, just in case the username you want to use has been taken by somebody else, I suggest you have 3 or 4 options, okay? And this is critical so that we can get the link out to everybody in an orderly fashion. Now, obviously, after I've put my 5 people in, I've got a lot more other people to put in, and obviously we want to get those people in as fast as we possibly can into the the next position down into the matrix. Okay. But what we mustn't be doing is expecting somebody else from above to be dropping somebody onto our front line. So as leaders, we all need to have our 5 people there positioned and ready, and on the end of the telephone, internet, Skype, whatever it needs to be, that we're going to be there able to get this information through to them. So you need to be able to copy and paste and get that link through once you're into the system. So you're going to have to register, put your username in, register, put your credit card in, pay, etc., etc. Then you've got to have a link, send it to the person, and away we go. So that's the simple bit. Now, what I want to touch on now is the bit that's a little bit sensitive, and I do not want anybody to take this the wrong way. Okay? Believe you me, there's an awful lot of people in this business that will be expecting what I call a free ride, because they've heard about matrices and they've heard about spill and so forth and so forth. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to have those sort of people sitting on your front row. Okay, because you remember you've got one position, you've got 5 underneath. You put somebody in, and then they've got 5 positions underneath that they're expecting you to fill for them. Okay, so that's not a good idea to put anybody with that sort of mindset on your front 5, okay? Now, what I would suggest we all do, and I'm certainly going to be doing this, I've spoken with the distributor concerned, and we know who the next person is going to be in that line. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in what we call, I'm trying to use the right terminology here because I don't want to offend anybody, but we're going to put in what we call a lightweight list, okay, line. Now, what we're going to do is we're effectively going to put that person into a position, and then anybody else that's kind of what I call a bit lightweight, they're going to be sponsored by that person, and then that person will be given another person that's lightweight. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a line down, all the way down, in a single line, straight down in one of our positions, okay? We've done that deliberately because we know that there are going to be people that want to, perhaps don't want to work too hard, but they want to join the business. And so it's obvious that we don't want to put those into a key position. And so it's critical that we look at our businesses before Tuesday and understand who perhaps we're going to put this what I call this bucket line in, okay? Where we're going to put in all the lightweight people that necessarily don't want to build a business, okay? Because obviously we've got to accommodate them, but if you put them in a primary spot, and you've then got to build underneath them, but by putting people underneath them and driving a line down, you can effectively put a taproot right the way down into your business. That might go down 100 levels deep, and that's okay, because remember that first person you put in is going to have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. They can have a lot of people going down, down, right the way down, and that's okay. Now, the thing is that if we don't do that and we put them in, and then all of a sudden we've then got a blockage in our matrix, and we've then got to put 5 people underneath that 1 person, and we don't want to be doing that. So it's a lot easier to find that weakness in the business and put those people down in a long line down underneath in that particular leg that you choose within your business. Now, it might not necessarily be on your front line. I would advise it's not. I advise it's down 2nd or 3rd levels down. So you're probably 3 or 4 levels down into your business before you put that weak spot in, limiting the amount of blockage that you get in your matrix. Because what you've got to appreciate is that the closer the blockage is to the top, the more work you've got to do to fill your matrix. Now, had I been building this company, I wouldn't have done a 5-wide matrix. I'd have just done it 4. And 4's a lot easier to get around this problem. But once you've got a 5, it means on the 2nd level there's 25 people you've got to put in, and then on the 3rd level there's 125. Well, it's just impossible. And what you'll find by having these what I call sleepers in your business is going to completely block all that area of positions in your business, and we don't want that for anybody. So what I'm doing in my business, and this is what I'm going to stress with everybody, I'm effectively working on my 1st, my 2nd, and my 3rd level of people within my matrix structure to make sure that we haven't got any blockages obviously on level 1, and certainly not on level 2, but level 3 is where we're going to put our sleeper in effectively. So level 2 is okay, and we're going to put a sleeper in on that leg so that people above us can drop people into that leg. And even my sponsor and their sponsor will be able to use that as a sleeper leg somewhere in the business to drop people in and take these what I call these dead spots out of your business. What I want to do there, John, I'll just pass it back to you if there's any questions.
Okay, guys, if anyone's got any yet, if you just put them in the chat boxes that we've got on the site in my Facebook here. At the moment, Paul, I don't see anything coming through.
I've got a question, John.
Here we go.
Paul. A very relevant question that's coming up a lot is how much control are we going to have over any positions that are filled below our top 5? So, you know, you're talking about trying to place people on the 3rd level, the 4th level. Are we going to have any control over that?
No, that's the whole point. And that's why I'm having this call, Hermione, because what I want to try and do is get everybody to understand that obviously we can't, you know, we haven't got a crystal ball. We don't know who, what, where, or when's going to do what they're going to do in their business. But what we do know is that people have a tendency to join and just plonk their 5 people across in their matrix, which is what everybody's been taught. But of course, if those 5 people don't do anything, then you've got a massive problem. So basically, it's in our own interests to make sure that our top, you know, 2, 3 levels are as strong as they possibly are, with committed people on level 1 and level 2. If you haven't got that commitment in level 2 with your people, you know, you're never going to get down to level 6 because your business is going to get blocked. And I really want to get this message across to everybody. It's crystal clear. Everybody's aware of this.
Okay, so what you're saying is that when you're ensuring that levels 1, 2, and 3 are strong, you've actually got to work with levels 1, 2, and 3 to get them all strong. You basically need to know all those people and ensure that your people in levels 1 and 2 know that their guys below them are strong, right?
Yeah, but if you're only working with level 1, okay, so let's look at, you've got 5 there, and now ultimately you're going to have 25 on level 2. Now, for example, this is a terrific example, because obviously we've got John, we've got yourself, and Tony on the call tonight, okay, so that's 2 of John's front level actually on the call that we're talking to directly. So instantly, you can see what we're doing here. We're trying to get this message across. Well, I know when I'm doing this for our group. If anybody wants to take advantage of this, to really understand how important this is, because obviously I'm spending all my time right now working with level 1 and level 2 people.
Paul, can I ask you a question?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
So, okay, to ask you a question, Paul, yeah. What if you've got 3 team members who are very strong, and two team members that you might only have 3 at the beginning? So can you still put your 3 in and then add 2 later on, or is that going to cause a problem as well?
Well, again, it's coming back to this commitment of who's going to build it and who's not. And this is why we've had the luxury of this pre-build to now, but it really is now, you know, so when the foot hits the metal, doesn't it? We really haven't got a lot of time now to identify those other 2 people, Derek. So you want to really have it out with them. Are they going to build it or not? Yeah.
Yeah, and one more question. What if someone is building offline? And you know they're going to
that's great. That's fantastic, because obviously I've got offline people as well, and they're all going to be coming in underneath my 5, aren't they? Because I've only put 5 people in. I've got a lot more than 5 people to bring in. Now, obviously, those people are going to be slotted into the first available spot where there's any weaknesses. Now, if somebody's got a weakness, for example, then I'm contacting them and saying, look, I might have somebody that might want to fit into that slot to strengthen up your front line. Yeah, does that make sense?
So you're helping people. Yeah, that does. Thanks very much, Paul.
I think what we need to make clear here, Paul, is that we can't actually place people ourselves. So as far as we're aware, we can't actually place people. Let's, for argument's sake, say that Joy and I have got somebody called Fred, and we decide that we're going to put them underneath Derek. We can't actually do that. What we have to do, as far as we know, is we have to pass that person's details on to Derek so that Derek can send the link.
Correct.
Yeah, because
So you're losing a personal sponsor.
You're losing a person. Yeah, a personal. But as far as we know, Hermione, I think this is part of what you're alluding to there, is that we don't have any ability, as far as we know, to actually place someone. It's a case of, you know, we might have some. Joy and I, for example, might have someone who's in South Africa, and this is not about weakness. This is just about practicality. We might come across someone in South Africa, and rather than us sponsoring them, we think, oh, hang on, this is going to make a lot more sense if Hermione sponsored that person, because they're still in our business, but we can't place them under you. We would have to pass your details to them and their details to you, so that you become their sponsor.
That's correct, Neil. And I think let's clear this message up as well. It's nothing wrong. I'm the first person to say you never give sponsorship away. But in this particular case, I think it's going to be a necessity to build a matrix strong that we're going to have to position people by giving sponsorship away to help those people to build our businesses strong. And it just makes complete logical sense to do that. You know, there is, without question, there's going to be a qualification put into this. I can't see this being a business without any qualifications. So I would imagine it's going to be 5, perhaps 6 people, 6 personals. But if we've got 5 strong ones, does it matter giving good people away? Because we want them as high as we possibly can to affect. Because it's all about, in its early stages, it's getting as tucked up as close to your sponsor as you physically possibly can. But it's all about positioning. And one position or 2 positions, well, let's say not so much one position, but 2 positions makes a huge effect on a 6-deep matrix, okay? And this is really, really important stuff. So, you know, this is, honestly, guys, I'm talking here about the difference between making 5 figures a month and 6 figures. And it's really important we understand this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to ask another question, please. Sorry, Derek. With regards to what Neil was just saying, if I have somebody, and like exactly what Neil was saying, that if I feel that I need to keep them in a certain team, and so I pass that person on to somebody in my 4th level, they will always still stay in my level, in my organization, and it won't make any difference to the compensation or anything if I don't personally sponsor them, correct? But they'll just be working in a better team.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. The only difference between they will always be in your team. The only difference would be if you personally sponsored them, you would get 5 card credits from that person. If they are anywhere else, if someone else sponsors them, you will get 4 card credits. It's neither here nor there, but yeah, I mean,
you get 4 card credits for anybody that you sponsor after 6.
Yeah, but it can be advantageous to place people, you know, for all sorts of reasons, Hermione. It might not necessarily be a geographical thing. It might be a personality thing. You know, as you go through the you know, the process of bringing people in, there may be, you know, I'll use a silly example here. If I had a window cleaner as a prospect, it might be great to give them to John, because, you know, they can talk about cleaning. It's a silly example, but I could you know, I could pass them on to John because they can talk about cleaning windows. Or if they were ex-farmers, you know, I could pass them on to Paul because they could talk about combine harvesters and tractors and stuff. So there can be reasons for effectively giving people away, provided, and there's always the proviso there, don't give away people to weak people. You know, you don't want to give people away to sort of prop up a charity case, as it were.
Yeah. I just want to add a little bit more to that, Neil, because once you effectively give a sign that you're going to be giving people away, then you're going to be bugged forevermore for doing that, because people come to you expecting you to do it If you've done it once, you do it again. And particularly if you're known as somebody that's a builder or a recruiter, then obviously that's going to have a huge effect on other people coming towards you and saying, well, you did okay because somebody gave you so and so, yeah. And we don't want that going through the business, okay?
Absolutely.
So it's a very personal thing, and it's an understanding between the upline and the person that we're talking to. So it will be done in a subtle, professional way, but it needs to be understood that what we're trying to do here is maximise the leveraging and compounding out of this 5x6 matrix. And that's what it's all about, because it's about getting as many positions filled as physically possible to help everybody win as much money as possible, because let's face it, we're not doing this for the fun of it. We're doing it to help everybody make some serious money. And if we don't do it and we treat it as a bit of a, I'll give you an example, guys. There's some internet websites I've seen out there on the internet. I saw one today, and it's by what I call a people nicker. And there was people out there using every trick in the book to steal your downline, yeah? Now, the person that's actually doing it, I know very well, and I know that he would never, ever spend any time with you on the phone. He will never, ever help you, and all he'll do is just tell you to get on and have a nice life. All he wants is to get you in and then get another one in, and get another one in, and get another one in. Now, we don't want to be helping those sort of people, because if they're not going to help their people, then we don't want to help them. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it does absolutely, Paul. And I think this is one of the reasons why once we've launched, we need to get this website together, this support website, our resource website, so that people have got a very, very good reason to join this team, or the team down from Joy and myself. Purely and simply because they will get the support, they will get the help, because there are lots and lots of people, and the silly thing is that the people that are, as you just call them, the people stealers, if you will, what they don't understand is that if they just constantly sponsor people and don't provide any help or support, they're actually never going to have a strong business, and they will constantly be building, because they'll have to constantly be rebuilding, But if you provide the support, if you build strength into your team, if you build, I like to call it building a family. If you so I thought somebody came in then. If you're building this team spirit, then people stay, and everyone makes money. It's that old cliche, isn't it? Team together, everyone achieves more. But it's absolutely true. So yes, there will be people out there who will try and steal your downline, and for the future, the very near future, if you find people like that, you need to let them know what we are going to do, and in the very near future what we are doing, in terms of support, in terms of meetings and all that kind of stuff that's going to be going on. So sorry, I'm
No, Neil, that's really, really important what you're saying there. You see, what I want to get across to everybody, this is the business that I'm working, and I'm not in any way working anything else. This is my primary business, and I'm going to get really, really focused. Now, one of the guys who brought in the business, he's been a little bit private about who he is and what he does, but he's a very good friend of mine, very good friend in actual fact, and he agreed to take a look at it. He was a little bit discouraged when the website didn't go live on the 25th, as we all were. But I've been on with him today, and for us here in the UK and for everybody in our team, he's going to be a huge, huge asset to everybody here. And he's a leading personal development speaker in the industry. A lot of people know him. He's got a huge following, and he'll be conducting the meetings, for example, down in London, along with myself and Neil and John and Tony and all the guys down in London. And we're going to create a team here that quite probably has never been seen before. And then with people like Paul Elliott and John and Neil who are going to work on the site, and a few other guys, they're going to put the site together. And obviously, Cowfish will put some effort in on the site as well, personal development stuff, and we can really make something special here, guys. You know, people will want to be in your top 5. You know, what you're selling really is you're selling equity in it's like selling plots on a housing estate. You know, the corner plots always go first. Well, when you get your 5, make sure they understand they're getting a corner plot, because that's how important it is right now. I know myself, I'm going to be putting a lot of people into this business once we launch, and you know, that's going to fill a lot of the gaps. But I'm not going to be recruiting just anybody. I'm going to be recruiting good people. They're going to get trained, you know, taught the duplication process, plugged into the system, and obviously they're going to contribute to building the business. You know, I'm not going to be bringing in any passengers. You know, I always say to everybody when I'm doing a training, you know, you allow 1 charity case a year, and no more. You know, do not go out there begging and trying to convince people, because believe you me, when this thing goes live on Tuesday, the convincing is over. There'll be thousands and thousands and thousands of people joining this. Only today, I was prospected by one of Tony's guys, in actual fact, and he pitched me the business. I ended up spending half an hour on the phone with him and getting him, you know, up to speed with exactly what he's joined. This is all about teaching the duplication, guys. And what I'm trying to say to everybody right now is we've got 4 days. We've got 4 days now to get this sorted and to make sure that you're working with the right people. You know, you're not working with any jokers that are trying to, you know, to hoodwink you into doing this. Yeah, you know, they're trying to, you know, get a position. If that's what I'm trying to say. So you want to make sure you've got the right people, and once you've got the right people, other people that you've got that are good people, then they need placing as close to you as possible within your second level. And so they get the benefit. You know, we don't want people being put, you know, through overspill, effectively dropping down 5 and 6 levels deep. That isn't right at all. We need to get our businesses tight and get all our good people positioned where they need to be, so they can be part of the team, so that everybody can prosper. And as Neil quite rightly said, you know, team together we all prosper. And that's going to be the message that's going to come out from me. And you know, I'll be telling this to everybody. When I sign anybody up, I'm going to give them the facts of life training. I'm going to tell them what they're in, what they've got to do, and what you know, I expect from them. It's a 2-way thing. It's not just a 1-way thing.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. All right, I've got one question for you, Paul. So, say for example, 2-3 months down the line, we find a really good guy, yeah, and we plug them into the business. Now they may fall in level 3, maybe level 4, and obviously it's going to take them a little bit of time to actually. Sorry, it's going to take them a little bit of time to actually perhaps find their first 5 people. Now, will their 5 spots not automatically start filling up if, you know, the matrix is filling up from above?
Yes, that is my whole point. Now, when we're launched, we don't know. I mean, Neil and me, I've had many a call with you guys, and Neil and Neil Belander and Neil Orford. I've spoken to all the guys, and nobody knows what's coming from above, so we haven't got a clue. John, you know, this is about. Let me just answer your question straight, right? This is what I would do if I got a guy to come in. I'd say, look, you know, this is the situation. You've got a clean backyard at the moment. Now, can we get 5 people together and set up a meeting and get them all around your house? Because you see, a lot of people that build this locally. You know, don't think about people sponsoring some in New Zealand and Canada and all around the place. People are going to build this out their own backyards. And so you get hold of them, say, look, what we want to do is launch your business. We want to get you into this and launch it. Can you find a few guys and get them around to the house, and we'll have a meeting? And they all sign up together. So he effectively coming in with his 5, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way to do it. I know somebody said that to me. If Neil rang me up, you know, and I hadn't seen this, and you know, got me round, and I say, well, okay, I'll get a few guys round, and we'll plan this thing out. So if you're just whacking them in, this comes back to the people snatchers. You know, internet marketers have got a bad habit of just signing people up and letting them get on with it. Well, that's what messes these businesses up. But if you bring a guy in and launch him and get him started, it might take, you know, a week to get him in, you know, get him going. But is that worth it? You're damn right it is. I'd sooner wait a few days to get my guys lined up rather than jump in just to grab a position.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, have we got any other questions there, guys?
I was going to say you're better off having 20 action takers in your business than 200 wishers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I just say something here? And I really want to say this because it's on my chest. Don't feel that you're offending anybody by telling them this, okay? This is information they need to have. Because at the end of the day, as I said a few minutes ago, the difference between making a success and failing at this is huge, okay? And by doing a lot of stupid stuff, you can fail, but by working smart and doing the right stuff to start with, you'll fly with this. And so many people on the internet, particularly this, they just sign them in and they just expect them to get on with it without doing anything to help them. Now, obviously, we're going to have a site up, a website, and we're going to have all the training on there, but how many people will actually watch it? How many people will actually spend, an hour or so watching me drawing out a matrix? They won't, because they don't think it's important. They think, oh, I'll just sign up, and I'll just go and bring a few people in. Well, unfortunately, the duplication breaks down. Now, you just think about what's been going on over the last 5 months. John, I mean, we've worked together for some time now, John, and you know how I am. And Tony, you likewise. And, I spend my time mentoring, teaching, and training people and doing what is required so that when they do join and they're working the business, they're doing the right things rather than doing the wrong things. And this is where the money's made, guys. The money is made in doing what we're doing right now. It's not just whacking them into the business. And this is where so many people make a mistake.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just relate that. I'm sure you've all seen Ian talk about when he first joined Herbalife, and he was kicked out of a meeting because he hadn't qualified. And
It's called setting your posture.
Joy and I have done, and I'm sure Paul has done similar things. Where you put a qualification on something for some training or whatever, and people kind of expect that they're really shocked when they realise, because hang on, why can't we come to the training, or why can't we do this, or why can't we do? Well, sorry, you didn't qualify. You didn't do what you needed to do to be there. But you're friends of ours. Well, yeah, we are friends of ours, and we'll go down the pub and we'll have a drink. But you're not coming to the training, or you're not coming to the event because you didn't do what was required to get to the event. So you have to be very harsh. You have to be a little bit tough on people for their own good, for their own benefit.
Yeah, I mean that's the case with a lot of these networking companies in this day and age. I mean, I've in the past I've been part of companies that had exactly that setup. You go to the meeting in the hotel. The first half an hour is a presentation for the prospects that are sitting there in the meeting. The second half is like a basic training to get everyone understanding, and then they have an advanced training for those specific qualified members. And there's often times sat in the meeting where a bunch of people had got up and walked out and gone into the room next door, and those were the guys that were actually cracking on and doing what was needed to be done. So, it's down to each and everyone individually. It's our own businesses at the end of the day, isn't it? So.
Can I ask a question? See if we've got someone, just as somebody asked me this on a message, if we've got someone who's got their 5, but unfortunately they have to work on Tuesday, can we put these 5 in for them?
Oh, no, hang on, whoa, right.
Okay.
My son is graduating and getting his graduation on Tuesday, and I should be there, and I'm not going. I've cancelled, and that's my son's graduation, so I'm missing that. So I'm afraid if they've got 5 people to be put into it, they've got to be there, because you can't do it. You won't be able to do it, because if you're only going to get a cookie problem or something like that, it'll be a nightmare.
Okay, that's good. That's answered that well. That's a good way to answer it straight. So I understand. That's cool. Thank you.
I'd like to add in there as well, someone that I've personally sponsored said to me he won't be available on the 14th, and I said, well, in that case, you'll just have to drop in the matrix anywhere. I said, can't you make sure that you can have your lunch break then? He said, no. I said, okay, well, the only other alternative is to get someone that you trust to sign up for you, and you need to give them all your bank details, etc., passwords, and they can be changed. That was Sunday. Yesterday, I had a message from him saying, I've rearranged everything, I'm free now on Tuesday.
I'm taking the day off. You know, I mean, that's if you're committed. Like Paul said, he's missing his son's graduation ceremony.
That is a big commitment.
And that's a big deal. It only happens once, you know.
Exactly. Only once, and I'll be honest with you, I'm upset about it. But I've got to. I cannot afford not to be there. You know, I've got to be here.
Mm.
I hope that someone will be recording it all for you, Paul.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get it. But the point is that's the commitment that I'm putting to this. So you know, it's either people are committed or they're not committed. If they're not committed, they don't deserve to be on your front line.
No, absolutely right. You know, it's. I'm just glad it's Tuesday and not Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because you know where I'm going, Paul.
Oh yeah, I think let's just get this across to everybody. Because we've not seen their website, we've not seen anything, you know, we don't know who the company are, but we've got a good idea. There's so much stuff and so much we don't know, and we're all making this commitment. That tells me we've got hold of something really, because I wouldn't be here. Believe you me, if I thought this was all hocus pocus, I wouldn't be here. And I think that's the commitment we've got to get across to people. So when you're talking to your guys, you know, we've got tomorrow, we've got Saturday, we've got Sunday, and we've got Monday. This is the time when all the niceties gone out the door. It's now cards on the table. Who, what, where, and when. Who have you got in your business? Are you going on my front five or not? And that's how it is.
At the end of the day, what everyone's got to realise is it's just one day. You know, it's one day. It's one very special day for our business, and it's one day that we can't afford not to be there. So, you know, I know where I'm going to be at from 11 o'clock on Tuesday. I'm going to be sat right here in front of my son's computer, and I'll be here as long as it takes. So, yeah, I think that's the same that everyone needs to have that commitment.
Well, totally. And I'll tell you what, those that do have that commitment will benefit. The ones that don't, I mean, that guy Joy just said, you know, I mean, he's obviously stepped on it. Can I just say something as well? And this is another thing you've got to think about. You've got Neil Verlander at the top. You've got Ian Orford. You've got Neil and Joyce Bear. You've got Paul and Fiona. We've got our five. We know who they are. They know who they are. And all the people have got their fives. Can you imagine what's going to happen to the people, say, on Neil Verlander's top level, yeah? When he starts dropping those people in, they're competing with the people that we're going to be putting in. So as this what we call spilled people pop in, it really is going to be a case of understanding that everybody is in at the beginning. And then the real work is going to start on Wednesday and Thursday when everybody realises they've got to perhaps qualify by putting 5 people in to actually you know, get qualified to pick up on all the people that dropped underneath them. Because there's going to be people sitting in here who drop into a position and have got perhaps 400 people dropped underneath them, and they won't know how that's happened. But if they've only put one person in, I'll guarantee you this now, they won't be getting those points. And those points will bypass them and go upline to the person above them who is qualified. Another reason is to get 5.
Yeah, I don't know about the pass up, but I mean, I've been thinking about that, whether those points will pass up, and you know, it's
where else the points going to go to? They've got to go up.
Yeah.
In the conventional business, that's what happens. The system will be written in such a way where the points will pass up.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That's huge. Even more reason to make sure you get your five.
It will be a huge motive. Well, you and I talked about this on the phone, Paul. It will be a huge motivation. You know, imagine, guys, somebody that is in the business. They brought in, let's say, one person, and that one person has brought in 5 or 6, and then they've got a few people under them. We're assuming that there is a qualification, and the guy that's brought in one person gets no points, and the guy that he brought in, who's brought in 5 or 6 people, gets a load of points, wins a load of money. That person that's not getting any points is suddenly going to go, well, hang on a minute, I think I better go and talk to my neighbour, my brother, my sister, you know, the guys down the pub.
My excitement about this business just hasn't diminished. I mean, I knew absolutely nothing about it when we joined, other than we knew the concept, and I could just see it, and I could just see everyone having full matrices, or matrices, sorry. And now I just can't
sleep.
Well, I haven't been able to sleep, but I think finally everybody's beginning to realise that, you know, you've got to pull your finger out, kiddo, because you're going to miss the boat if you don't. For the ones that have been sitting on the fence. I don't know about everyone else, if you've had that sort of feeling since we've known the launch date, but that's what we've had. Suddenly people are who haven't been sponsoring anyone before. So it's really cool. I'm excited.
I think what's going to happen, Joy, is that I think the next day or two, Neil, you're going to be away on your stag do, and I do envy you a little bit, but I think the next day or two, people are going to really start waking up to what they've got themselves involved in. And I think that Tuesday, by the time Tuesday comes round, this thing's going to be on fire. And what we've got to understand as well, and I'm sure this is going to happen, and I'm going to make sure it happens in actual fact, because as soon as this company's live, I'm going to get onto the company and tell them about social media. I want this removing from social media so that it isn't splattered all across YouTube and Facebook. And we're actually talking to each other and ringing people up and saying, hey Neil, you know, I've just won €1,000, you know, or John, you know, John rings me up, I've just won €10,000. We want that. We want the telephone and the excitement coming across the telephone rather than see people seeing, you know, stuff on Facebook. I think it's far more powerful.
It is.
Yeah, or Hangouts or Skype calls with the team.
Yeah, anything like that, Joy, yeah.
I mean, we had a great Skype call with one of our first 5 and some of his team last night, didn't we?
Yeah, it was really
cool. And really, you know, it was great. It was going to be like a 15-minute call. It went on for an hour or more.
Minutes.
You know, and it was just brilliant. You know, but don't get that on Facebook normally. You know, because people have kind of Paul and I talked about this a lot. People have lost the ability to talk. You know, it's like everything's got to be a message or something, and it, you know, crazy.
Well, I think the thing with it is, at the end of the day, here we are talking to people from all around the world. I know I was down in New Zealand listening to this, and Amani's over in South Africa. Here we are in Blighty. And the reality of this is that there is 65 million people living here in the UK, and I bet you there's probably 10,000 people in the UK know about this. I reckon within a couple of months it'll be 100,000.
Yeah.
Well, it's really strange you should say that, because today I've had... well, last night I had someone message me, can they talk to me? Because the only reason they didn't dismiss it was because they met me at a Biscotti meeting, which is a network meeting thing that goes on in Worcester a few years ago. We had a good old natter today, and so she lives just outside Worcester. The person that introduced her lives in Worcester, and we've got a really good, solid local team building here, so we're going to have some really great meetings.
Yeah, well, it's what's going to happen, and you know, it's funny, I was on a call with someone today, and it was a Skype call, and Elliot, my son, just come in from work, and, you know, he knows what I'm doing, and he said to me afterwards, he says, Dad, has that started yet? Can I get in? And, you know, it's like, I cannot wait. Honestly, I'm just gagging to get this out. I just oh dear. And that's another thing, I'm not putting any of my family in my top 5 as well, just another point. Okay, they're all going way down.
I'm going to just try something here. I'm going to see if I can share my screen, and I don't know whether this is going to work on a hangout, but I'm going to see. Can anybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Yep, yep, we can see it.
Yeah,
What's it?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got it.
I can't.
Oh, Neil.
Just crashed.
Go on, Neil.
Okay, he's probably just got to log back in. Are you there, Neil?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on to your hats, guys.
Oh, have I stopped sharing?
Yeah, that's okay, Neil. We got the message.
Now that was a two. That's the technology behind this, guys. That was a €2 ticket. So the winnings there, which were €2 and €7, you could multiply with a €5 ticket. You could multiply that by 2.5.
And higher odds as well, Neil.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So imagine, and I've said this on webinars, imagine that on your mobile phone, sitting in the pub with 3 or 4 friends, you know, or imagine somebody in their lunch break at work, sitting down in the canteen, the restaurant, whatever you want to call it, the restroom, and saying, "Look at this, guys," and scratching a few cards. How easy will it be to? Somebody's going to say, "Well, you know, how much is that?" Well, it's €30 a month, but I've just because that win could have been €50, €500, 1,000. You know, the power of this is unbelievable. It really is absolutely unbelievable. I've never seen anything like in 28 years, 30 years. Well, no, hang on, 1979. 36 years ago when Joy and I first saw network marketing. 36 years ago.
I was only 10, by the way.
And let's bear in mind also that as the way the matrix is filling up, something I learned on a webinar a month or so back, as you're building your business, it's not like we're going to get these scratch card credits at the end of every month. As your matrix builds and you're qualifying for those credits, you're going to be getting scratch cards day in and day out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in real time. They'll be coming in.
People probably don't realise that.
They'll be coming in by the hour, John.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you could kind of log in, log out, and log back in again. There'll be some more credits there.
I think the most exciting thing is that's exciting, but I think the even more exciting thing is the fact is that I'm going to be working this. John, you're going to be working this. All you guys on here are going to be working this. This is why you're on here. That means we're going to be creating overspill, okay? Because we want to fill our matrices. That means that I'll go effectively 5 people, my first 5 people, and this is the message you need to get across to everybody you bring in this business, are going to get helped. And that means that we're putting people in their businesses, every 5th one, and somebody's going to get a spill from me. And, you know, I'll be sponsoring people pretty much every day once we get going. I'll be running almost like a factory, setting people up, getting them in, getting them trained, getting them duplicating, doing team launches. You know, I'm going to be working this really, really hard once we get going. And that means there'll be good people dropping in people's businesses all the time. And I think there's nothing more exciting, guys, than seeing somebody drop in your business and, you know, 100 people appearing overnight.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing. You know.
And that all points. Ooh, goosebumps.
Sorry, so are you saying that, Paul, that as you're building and you've got somebody who is a bit weak, you'll be adding, when you've sponsored someone and you've launched them and they've got their 5, you'll be giving their link, them, to somebody else in your group who's got a space?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's exciting as well.
That's what I'm saying. So you'll be getting phone calls from me saying, look, I've got somebody, they want to come in your business, bang. And that's what we've got to get across to people. And, I mean, how many businesses are you in where that happens?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, a matrix is quite unique in that respect, because in a unilevel plan, you just sponsor wide, or most people do. You know that, but we were taught always you sponsor wide for wealth, depth for security. But in a matrix, it is similar, but depth also brings wealth as well in a matrix.
And security.
It's a double whammy.
So you think about it, right? You're gonna have gaps, okay? And it's no good. You want to plug in those gaps, and so you need to find out who's in your business and working with your people. So when I start seeing a gap in the business, I'll be speaking to the leader. Say it's John, for example. I'll say, John, look, I see there's a gap down there. Who's down there? And he'll say, well, it's one of Tony's guys. So I pick the phone up to Tony, and I say, Tony, have you got that guy's phone number? He says, yeah, here it is. I've got somebody for him. And you ring this guy up and say, well, by the way, John, you don't know me, but I'm Paul. I'm in your upline. I've got somebody. I want to slot into your business. I tell you, that calls are brilliant.
If that doesn't motivate them, nothing will.
No, but it's brilliant doing it.
This is the importance of, as you see people come into your group, connecting with them. I still do it now, but I can't keep up with everything. I always send a welcome message. Just want to welcome you to Scratch My Card. Blah blah blah, and let's connect. So that I'm friends with them and we have a chat, and we build a relationship. Because if anybody does drop out, if you haven't got that relationship, you lose connection with them.
Totally.
So I think it's really important to try and connect with people in your organisation.
Yeah, I mean, I try and make a point of welcoming everyone that joins our team. I was talking to Paul about this today, actually. Our spreadsheet now, I'm starting to lose track a little bit, because Derek sent me a few messages saying, am I nearly at 100 yet? And I'm trying, but we're down to kind of level 11 and 12, ostensibly. And so it is getting difficult, but I try and I go through the Scratch My Card main group every day, and if I see somebody that I know is in that, I welcome them. They go on the spreadsheet, because and I was saying this to Paul, I don't do it for, I don't know why I started doing it, but now I'm doing it because I think, hang on, if somebody drops out, if somebody there drops out, I want to know, and I was telling Paul, actually, we've got, I'm not going to name names, but we've got somebody we personally brought in, and it's like it is like trying to get blood out of a stone to get it, to try and talk to him.
I've just bypassed him. I just talk to everybody else that he's introduced him.
Can I add something here, guys? I mean, as you know, I spend a lot of my time out doing my day job and listening to various trainings. Well, one of the trainings that I was listening to just yesterday, something that really hit home. This guy was talking about having eyes like a hawk in your downline, and you have to be looking for pockets of activity in your downline to perpetuate the process of growth.
Yes.
Yeah, and as soon as you see someone building deep down, maybe even in your 5th, your 6th, your 7th levels, and they're going for it and they're building their businesses, you connect with them.
Absolutely.
Because you never know, if the people above them drop out, they're going to then start rising up closer to you. So you connect with everybody that is in your downline that is building the business in the right manner.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
Can I just ask another question? Sorry, my mind is blown. You guys just blow my mind every time I speak to Paul. I have to go and have a lie down because the excitement is. Somebody's just asked, and I don't know whether you've covered this. When we put our first 5 in, that's fine. We then, when we add other people, we'll be using our link from the website. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's okay. I don't know whether the person, but because I'm sitting here, my mind is fried right now with excitement, because there's one thing that you'll say that I go, oh, that's not very good, and then you bam it right back up with something else. So it's incredible. So sorry about that. You've already answered that question.
When we get going, Derek, we're going to get all our links down from our upline. So once you get your link and you register, then you will create your own link. That is the link that you will always use to personally sponsor people with.
Fantastic. That's great.
And
thank you.
There is another, and this I really do. I don't know whether it will happen, but let's assume that you you pass your link to someone and they decide they and they are, should I, shouldn't I? And then they see someone else pitches them on the same, on Lucky 5. There is a very good chance that your link will be cookied to that person. So if they then, people, Paul, we don't know this for a fact, but Paul was talking about the people stealers or the poachers, whatever. If they saw your link first, there's a good possibility, and we don't know this for a fact, they will be cookied. So when they sign up, they'll automatically sign up with you whether they like it or not. I don't know that for a fact. That can work for you or it can work against you. But when we find that out, that as a fact, I'll tell you what you need to do to make sure that person signs up with you. Whether, let's cross the bridge when we come to it. That there, We've all gone very quiet.
Have you got any?
Everyone's muted.
Thanks for that, Neil.
Yeah.
So I've just had some liquid refreshment delivered.
Yes, we're sharing a glass of red wine.
Cheers.
The kids being topped up.
Well, I think we've covered. I think Derek said himself, we fried his brain. So hopefully we haven't done that to everybody. That this call is specifically designed for the guys that are going to be team building folks. Okay, so all you folks out there that are listening, hopefully it's been of real interest to you. Hopefully, we've gone down some routes that maybe have shocked you. Hopefully it's excited you as well. Have you got any of you guys got any more questions that you want to cover? Hermione, Tony, Derek?
No.
No more questions. See, my brain was fried in a good way, not a bad way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm good, thank you. But I just want to say once again, while we've got some other people on the line, Neil and Joy, you really are fantastic. You guys are just putting in so much work, we don't even realize that you're doing it. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah, thank you. We are, that's what we do. You will find out, if we commit ourselves to something, we commit ourselves 150%.
Yeah.
We that's what we're there. I'll have to stop waffling, Joy said. What I want to see, our ambition is this: to see people in our team making lots and lots and lots of money. I want to see people. I want to be able to put a post on Facebook. I know Paul says, let's get it off Facebook, but I want to be able to put a post on Facebook in a month's time. To say, to the naysayers who have doubted that this will ever happen, I want to be able to put a post on Facebook to say, in the last week, the collective winnings / earnings, whatever, income, whatever, in our team was over 200,000 euros.
I'm with you on that, Neil.
That would be amazing.
Can I just say something here, guys? And this is something a little bit negative. with the success that we're about to have, there will be the haters.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've really got to be careful, guys. And this is again why social media will be so important to be controlled, because the haters are going to hate us. Because I don't know if anybody's seen a post on my wall today, but the company that I started with all those years ago was pretty much halved in size, and they've downsized. And for a company like Nick N to shut down 14 countries in literally just with a a sweep of a pen it's staggering, and that's how bad the industry's got. Okay, Nick N was one of the premier companies in the world, and until the internet came along, and the internet basically killed a lot of the distributors in that business. And I'm one of those people that got stolen by the internet. Okay, from leaving Nick N, my income has gone down, it hasn't gone up, and subsequently the company has now shed 14 countries have been shut down. Now imagine being in that company and just being told we can't do business in your country anymore. I mean, these are countries like Holland and Denmark. I saw Taiwan. I've been to Taiwan. I mean, it's massive. Philippines. These are whole countries that have just been shut down. Now, we don't want this company being shut down, and we want this to run and run and run. So it's in our interest to protect it as much as we possibly can. And I'm going to really nurture this baby and look after it, because I think it deserves that. Okay, and I think we've got to protect it, and that means by policing our business and really controlling what goes on out there, Neil. It's critical we do that.
And that for those of you that don't know Nick N, Nick N is a 40-year-old company, I think, if I'm correct in saying, founded in 1975.
Correct.
I had this. Actually, I had the same email that you must have got today, Paul, from Ted Neuton. 40-year-old company, and it is a lot to do, I think, with the internet, because there is so much. Excuse the word. Joy's just whispered it to me, but and I was going to say, and I will say, so much crap out there. People selling training on how to sell more training, on how to sell more training, on how to sell more training, and all that kind of stuff. What we've got here is something that is so simple, so unbelievably simple, but yet can be so incredibly profitable. I think we can build one of the biggest businesses that the world has ever seen in internet marketing and multi-level marketing.
Well, my vision when I first saw it, and I said to Neil, I can see everyone having full matrices within 12 months, and now I really believe that it will be in months.
I think it will.
And no doubt people at the very, very, very top will maybe even sooner. So it's just exciting. And from starting from just me and Neil, what's happening now, I just can't believe it. It's just fantastic, and I really appreciate knowing you all. It's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Well, it's great to be on your team, Joy. And what I was going to say to you guys, and this really is important, there will be companies that will go out of business because of this, and this will shut down companies because of the nature of what it is. We need to be aware of that, and I'm telling you that straight. And it won't be directly because of us, but we're going to have a huge magnetic draw towards our opportunity once this goes live. And I think all these other deals out there, they can't compete. I mean, Neil, what you just showed everybody on that hangout just now with the scratch card and how it works and everything else, that's the technology, guys. That's what we're going to be playing with and using. You've got to imagine that's going to be kicking out winnings on the first day of probably somebody will hit a €10,000 win on the first day. I mean, where does that happen in network marketing? It don't. And that's what's going to happen, guys. And I think it's so important now, more than any other time, to get this message across. I was talking to Cowpesh this morning, and we was talking about doing the road shows and putting on the meetings around the country. And we're going to be on the road, guys. London is going to rock. Manchester going to rock. Birmingham going to rock. Now that's what's going to happen here in the UK. Get this going in South Africa, in New Zealand, and oh man, it just doesn't even bear thinking about.
And don't forget Cyprus.
Oh yes, Cyprus.
Just in case you're watching, Vasilis, We haven't forgotten Cyprus. Joy and I love Cyprus, believe me.
But can you imagine taking this across into poor old Greece at the moment from Cyprus? You know, gee, change a few lives over there.
Well, we have a prospect in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't think it would be allowed over there because of their religious beliefs.
Well, we've actually well, he's been sent some information, and he's actually a Christian. He's not a Muslim.
Okay.
That I don't know about the legalities in terms of the country, but we're going to find out.
Wow, how exciting!
It is
What
exciting.
people get a VPN in these countries like China where they can pretend they're in America? You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we can do that, so we can still probably get people involved as long as they purchase a VPN, which takes them out where they actually, like in China, there's Facebook is banned. So when I was over there, I got a VPN so that I could go onto Facebook.
Yeah.
And it just means you're in another country. So there's where there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way to get around it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm absolutely convinced. I mean, the people will always find a way, Derek. They will always find a way. You know, it's like people in America. People in America will end up in this, but they'll have a VPN and they'll have some kind of bank account or residence or whatever in Canada.
Definitely, that's going to happen. I mean, we've got a very powerful lady in the network, and she's going to be dropping under somebody as well. And as I say, she's an American, and she's got it sorted. So it's possible. Everything's possible. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love that giggle.
I'll mute myself quickly.
It's okay, Hermione, we love you. But I think, guys, what we're going to do, it's Friday night here in the Thursday night. It's Friday night tomorrow night. It's Friday night tomorrow. It's effectively 4 days tomorrow that we launch. And I know I'm going to be like a cat on a hot tin roof over the weekend. And I think all we're going to do is just really drill down to those people that we're going to be working with, those 5, how important it is to get themselves with their 5 as well. Remember that. It's not just your 5, but their 5 need to have their 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Use that little chart, use that little chart that Joy's done that little video on. Use that, that is so powerful. We're going back to old school networking here, but we used to draw circles and, we used to stand up in front of, and I tell you what we used to do. We would stand up with a flip chart and would draw circles, and we would say to people, right, okay, who wants to take that away with them and start filling in the names on that? And we would have people literally go, yeah, I want that, because they would want to take away that piece of paper off the flip chart so they could go and start filling in their names. And we many years ago, we were living in a house, in a big old terraced house in Birmingham, and our second room, which would have normally been the dining room, was our office, it was our stock room, and we didn't even have paper on the wall to draw on. We actually drew out our organisation on the emulsioned walls. We used to put circles on, imagine a big old terraced house, 10-foot high ceilings, a wall, I don't know, 12.5 feet wide, and we started off with a circle in the middle, which I drew on there in a felt tip pen with us, and we drew out our organisation on the wall in that room.
We had trainings in there as well initially. We had trainings in the lounge, and then we got too big for the lounge, so they spilt over into the other room, and so our sponsor did them in there. And then from there we went to a pub where we could get a free room if everybody bought a drink, and from there we went to hotels, and that's just the way everything works, and I think you can't beat that sort of energy with people and face-to-face.
Can I just share some info with everybody, guys? Because I've just had a couple of comments on Facebook with some of the people that are watching this hangout, and it's great to have you here, guys. It really is, because you're the guys that are getting the right information now. we're going to be launching this on Tuesday, and I want everybody to be aware of this. And this is what I'll be doing with my offline people. I'll be launching them, okay? And what I mean by that is effectively we're going to set up a weekly meeting in our hometown, and probably what I'll do is I'll probably run a series of meetings for the first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right through the first week. So I'll call the guys together, and then what we'll do, we'll launch them over a week and pull those guys in, okay? Now, why I'm saying this is that effectively if you take little groups of people, say 4 or 5 guys, it's very easy to create the momentum, the urgency for a follow-up meeting the next night. So you've got 5 guys, and you say to them, look, what you need to do is get all your guys along to the meeting on the next night. We'll meet up here tomorrow night, same time, and get you guys along. Now, if you do that, you're going to create momentum like you can't imagine. I call it AOMA, all-out massive action. Now, you get your first 5 guys, they get their 25 guys. Can you imagine what's going to happen? Well, before you know where you are, by the time you get to the end of the week, you might have 70, 80, 100 people together, and you've got an organisation. You can do that in your own backyard, and that's how easy it really is. And I know, for those of you that are, have got a local presence in the local community, just like Joy was talking about with her people down in Worcester there, that's what you can do. And that's exactly what I intend doing with my local guys, my offline guys, and my guys that I've been talking to around the area. So we'll put them all together next week, and we'll kick it off probably on the Thursday or the Friday, and roll it through the weekend, and then really bang it out the following week. And that's my plan of action for my guys just offline and the local guys. Gone quiet.
We've just blown everybody's minds, Paul.
Have we? We ain't started yet.
I've just had a question here. Shirley's saying that she's still unsure about the launch on Tuesday, and I just wanted to say again what Neil posted the other day in our chat group is that we're not going to, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, we're not going to be able to register online. Your upline will be given a URL. They'll give you the URL. You'll go onto that, register, and then you'll be getting your own URL to pass to your downline, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. There will be, when the website goes live, there will be no facility on the website to sign up. It will have to come through the line of sponsorship. So you won't, but if that existed, if there was an ability to sign up on the website, then everybody would lose their team. So yeah. Quite simply, until someone is sent a link, your unique URL, you will not be able to sign up. It has to come from your sponsor.
That's why it's important that everyone needs to be aware that the launch date is 12 noon UK, and whatever time it might be in your particular time zone, you're ready and waiting for the next however long it will take for you to receive your link to join.
Right. Okay. So in this case, one of my 5, Bev, will receive my link. When she's registered, she'll have her link and she'll give it to Shirley, and then Shirley will pass it on to Ryan. So I hope that answers that question.
Yeah.
It'll be in a nice, orderly fashion.
Can I make one other point here as well? Do not put 6 or 7 in. Do your 5 and respect everybody else to put their 5 in as well. And we've got to make that a real policy, okay?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow, I didn't think about that. I mean, I didn't even realize that there would be the capability to do that, so we must stress that to everybody.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very, very important thing. Give everybody the respect that they deserve to put their 5 in on, once they get their link, and not anymore. Yeah?
How do we know when it's okay to...
Hey, Vasilis!
Hello.
Just got back. Our lion from Cyprus. Hi, man.
Hello.
People being late for the party, Bacillus.
You've been. What have you been sunbathing in that Cyprus sun?
Cyprus is almost 14 degrees today. So hot.
Too hot. Well, it's hot in this hangout tonight, Bacillus. We're all fired up.
Yeah, you'll have to catch up with the recording, Vasilis, tonight, okay?
Yes, definitely.
We've gone over a lot of good stuff, mate, so you need to make sure you and your guys watch it back, watch the recording.
We can't sleep.
I'm not surprised in that
Have
temperature.
joined the We Can't Sleep Club, Bacillus.
I don't know, but for the people here in Cyprus, the most of the people, when we present to them, they cannot believe that there is a business like this so simple. We don't have to convince anyone to buy the product, to use the product. It's the product that speaks itself.
Yeah, like Ian often says, there's no pitch.
They either see it or they don't, and if they don't, next.
Yeah, I think can I just go back to that question that we were talking about earlier? I think that obviously we need to have some sort of time frame when everybody can start putting their extra people in. But obviously we've got to respect everybody to get their people in first. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but it might be, say, 3 hours. I don't know how long it will be. You know.
How are we going to know, Paul? This is the trouble. How do we know when it's okay to start adding other people?
Well, that's the next problem. We've got to work out with Neil, because obviously everybody's got to respect everybody. It's not fair for Neil Bolander to go and chuck all his extra people in before you guys have got, everybody's got their people in, yeah?
Yeah, I totally understand that, but I just wondered if there was going to be some sort of message or something.
I think we might be something that may be mentioned in a hangout, maybe on Monday. I'm not sure, but whatever the time frame is, what you have to remember is there will be a time lag. So if it's 3 hours and then people start to put their 6 and 7, 8, 9 in, it's going to take them a while to catch up with everybody who's already started to do it.
And there's another reason as well, Joy, as well, because if everybody piled in on the first 10 minutes, it'll crash the system. The system will not allow lots and lots of people coming in at one go, whatever system it is. So it's got to be spaced out a little bit because it's just going to cause mayhem.
It's going to be good.
I think you can rest assured that when this does hit the hangout, well, did you say it on Monday night, Joy?
Yeah, I think there's going to be one Monday night.
We're
We're sort of 80% sure. We've got to just confirm it up with Ian. But there will be another meeting tomorrow night.
There's a webinar tomorrow night with the wonderful Joyce there. And I've just come to a decision. I'm going to temporarily rename the Scratch Stars group Scratch Stars brackets WCS.
Millionaire stars.
Scratch Stars, we can't sleep.
I'm so happy about Derek. He's 8 before 100, I guess.
So I can't hear you, Bacillus, sorry.
So this.
I'm so happy about Derek. Only 8 people for the 100.
Can't hear you.
No.
I think what he was trying to say was he's very happy for Derek, and Derek's doing really brilliantly, very close to his 100.
He said
He is.
before.
You'll definitely hit the 100 before launch, Derek. That's for sure.
I hope so, but the important thing is that it's going to happen anyway. So I'm excited about everything else after that. So we'll take it as it comes.
Yeah.
But thanks, Bacillus. That was very kind of you.
We need to get Vasilis a new microphone.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's a bit dicky, doesn't it?
He just needs to learn to sit still when he's on this.
Well, look, I think what we've got here, guys, I think we've chewed the fat enough. I think we've got all the information across to everybody. We've been on this for over an hour. I can't believe that. I don't think there's anything more to say, really. It's just, it's just countdown, really.
Yep. And
You've got to consolidate.
Yep. Just keep talking to your team. Make sure people are hooked up. Make sure people are motivated, excited.
What I did say on the list of things to have when you're ready to join, I did say don't rely on an email, but still have the email anyway, because if something does go wrong with connections, 4 days, 14 hours and 32 minutes, 11 seconds. Oh, goosebumps. Yes, just make sure you've got your email, your best email there as well, and get everyone to get their best email as well, just in case. Emails usually are pretty good, but you can't always rely on them. That's why we're saying, try
Skype and Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
And mobile phone numbers. If you need to speak to people, get mobile numbers, phone numbers, whatever. Just to be sure, let's not risk missing out because of some kind of technical
glitch.
Carrier pigeons, whatever it takes.
Definitely. And the other thing I'd say to everybody as well, and I think this is probably the last thing we ought to say on the subject as well on this, is the efficacy and the principles that we're going to be building this business on in the future will be paramount. And I really want everybody to understand that. One of the things being lacking on the internet and lacking in the industry is those principles and ethics that are required. And I know yourself and Joy and me and Fiona and John and Tony, everybody that's on this call tonight understands that. And I want you to get that through to everybody in the team. Get everybody to understand that, our success is their success. And, I'm not going to stop once I've sort of made the first few quid. I want everybody to understand that. We're here for the duration of the game. And what I mean by that is that we'll be doing everything in our powers to make sure that everybody on the team, and I mean the team, succeeds. Whether they're in Neil's team, my team, we're part of Neil and Joy's team, we're all going to be a team together, and as a team we'll win. And I really want to get that across to everybody, because that's what's missing so often on the internet. And all I see on the internet is people talking about how much money they've made and how much they've done this and how much they've done that and how you need to sponsor 2 a day and all this sort of nonsense. No, that's not what it's about, guys. It's about team building. It's about getting 5, 6 people together, building that team, and then working that team. It's not about sponsoring thousands of people. It helps to find the people you need to find. But if you can sponsor, a good half dozen people, get them plugged in, get them duplicating, using a system, we're going to put the website together, everything's going to be there, you're going to build a team. And we want to get that across to everybody. So don't frighten people off with big numbers of sponsoring all these people, because you don't need to. What you need to do is find some good people, work with those people, and teach them duplication. Do that, we're all going to make a fortune.
Yeah, couldn't have put it better, Paul.
Teamwork is the dream work.
Absolutely right. Guys, listen, I've got to... I've got a... tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, my son is up to go to breakfast at Frankie and Benny's, and then we're driving down to Brighton for my other son's stag weekend.
So he's leaving it all to me.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Spending the weekend with some 20-something-year-olds.
Oh, you'll have a great time, Neil.
You're going to have a sore head Saturday night. I know that, Friday and Saturday night. Oh, dear.
All right, guys, let's knock it on the head. It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your time. Thank you, Neil, Joy, for everything you do. Thanks, Paul, for all your wisdom in building the Matrix. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. And we'll see you, if not tomorrow evening, on the next webinar, then on Monday evening is the next one, yeah?
Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks for putting it together. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great to have you all on our team. We love you all, and we're all going to make an awful lot of money, guys.
That's for sure.
Thanks very much,
guys.
everyone. Keep
Yeah.
tight.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night, Hermione. Good night, Anthony.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
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 Bye.